Hey guys, what is up? This was another great episode of Young Justice. This was season 4, episode 8. Yes, it was episode 8. And guys, they do such a freaking good job, man. They do such a freaking good job. I don't even know necessarily how I want to cover this, but we have the Artemis storyline, and then we have the storyline with Superman. And then we have our ending arc at the end. And I loved every moment. I think the character development for all these characters was fantastic. And I'm so intrigued to see if we're going to see more of some of these characters in the future. But let's backtrack. Let's go all the way back and talk about the opening. It looks like they just took some clips from season 1. I've started to kind of watch season 1, but right now I'm working a lot of overtime, so it's just been kind of difficult to find time just to sit and watch those episodes. But I'm going to watch them again to refresh my memory of certain things. But it was incredible. The fight scene at the place with the League of Shadows was just fantastic. Was fantastic. And they, like I said, they find ways, and I almost want to ask Greg Wiseman if it was cheaper to do it the way they did it, because not only if it is cheaper, cool, but to me it was cooler. It was so much cooler to see the fight scene the way they did it versus the way it could have been with the lights on where you could see everything. I actually dug the fact that the lights were off. It made it, to me, more impactful. So I thought that was great. You know, seeing them fight, show up the characters. Orphan, to me, is probably one of the coolest characters now in Young Justice, which, you know, I don't know if I would have said the same thing if you would have asked me before this season started, even though her one really episode she had in season 3 was fantastic. But I have a feeling that she's going to stop being called Orphan and she's going to start being called Batgirl. I like either one. I don't think there's an issue with either one. But if they start calling her Batgirl, I think she deserves, in this world, she deserves the Batgirl mantle more than Spoiler does. And I like Spoiler as Spoiler, so there's no need to change her. But if they decide to change Orphan into Batgirl, I'm cool with it. I think it's great. So there's that. Alright. So now that that's out of the way, the villain Shade. So the villain Shade was introduced in the 3rd season. You know, they got him out of that little thing he was in, and then they got out of a certain situation. He turns on the League of Shadows to save them because he owes Cheshire. So he says, you know, I'm not working for you guys anymore. I'm out. He is such a cool character that the way they've done Shade in this universe, to me, not only does it really display how powerful he is, but he also just looks cool in a really creepy way. I totally dig it. I think it's great. Yeah, total geek out moment. When Orphan jumps out of the thing to fight Shiva, total nerd moment, freaking out. And when Shiva jumps out of the portal and cuts the 2 ninja guys in half, it's like, they're going here. Like, they are going here. Holy crap. Right? Crazy. Like, super intense. Fantastic. Seeing those fight scenes, but then also the fact that she didn't follow through and did not kill this person, even though this woman is threatening to kill Batgirl, I thought was good. Now, I do wonder what would have happened if she followed through with her threat. If she followed through with her threat and Batgirl was dead when they got there. That would have been super ballsy. I'm glad they didn't do it because I like Oracle. I think she's a good character. But that would have been crazy. Now, let's hit on the Superboy stuff, and then we'll hit on the main thing at the end. But let's hit on the Superboy thing right now. So, I am happy that they took the time to have Superman mourn Superboy. I thought that was great. The fact that he had to explain death to Jonathan, I thought was, super impactful. And, at the end, it's like, of course he's a little kid, so he doesn't understand. He doesn't fully understand, but Superman, later on, he's just sitting there and Lois checks on him and he's emotional. He's an emotional wreck. And I just, it's like, it just shows how good of a writing team they have, because that was more impactful than most of the stuff that DC does. Again, Young Justice is doing more for the DC universe than the comics are, than anything else is. They're having more character moments in this animated series than any of their little CW shows are, than any of their comic books are right now, besides maybe a few. And even their movies, to me, Young Justice is what I look for when it comes to DC right now. So, it is what it is. I mean, I wish Greg Weisman and them, I wish Warner Brothers would just give them enough money to do 3 different shows. Because I want a Justice League series. I want a Justice League series. I want a Batman series that's just Batman. And then I want the Young Justice series. I mean, I want that. I want to see the stories of the Justice League characters. I want to see the stories of the people we're watching right now. Anyway, I could go on a whole tangent about this, but just fantastic, man. I mean, what can you say? Okay, so now the last part. Cheshire is supposed to go with them, and she's supposed to try to maybe make a new life back at home with her ex, who still is madly in love with her, and her daughter. But her daughter makes a mask that looks like hers, and it freaks her out. Completely freaks her out, with the realization that she cannot be a good mother. So it seems like she's going to go perform a suicide mission. And they stop her from doing that. And instead of her committing suicide, she decides to join Roz's version of the League of Shadows and try to make a new life of herself, a more positive life, to unbrainwash herself to become a better person. Don't know if that's going to turn out well. Don't know if Roz and them are secretly still involved with the light and are going to be evil. But we will see. I really hope we see them again, because of course we all know that that's Jason. And I want to see Jason finally turn into who we know him as, which is the Red Hood. And I want to see him have an interaction with Nightwing and maybe get some flashbacks of him as Robin, maybe. But we'll just have to see. But thought that was great. The conversation of being a parent was definitely something that's kind of played in this show a good bit. And, Cheshire deciding to maybe make a step to becoming a better person. I think it's fantastic, because I think we all hope that one day she can actually be that mom. And, I was listening to someone talk about gargoyles the other day, and they were talking about how they did something interesting with the main villain of Gargoyles, where really at the end of the series, his life's actually pretty good. He's married, he's got a kid. He was seeking, eternal life or immortality. But what he ended up getting was a wife and a kid, and probably just a kind of a more normal life. He got something he didn't expect, but then realizing maybe it's better. And I think Greg Weisman specifically him because of Gargoyles, but all the other people on the writing team, Brand Vietti, all of them, I think they realize that when it comes to expectations of people, I think a lot of times people are more one note when it comes to their villains, heroes, all that stuff, right? Like, this has to lead into death, or this has to lead into this. And it's like, one of the cool things about a villain is possibly giving you something that you didn't realize you wanted out of that villain, which is for them to maybe be happy and for maybe them to change their ways. So, anyway, it's just good storytelling, man. Like, what can you say? It's just fantastic storytelling. So, anyway, guys, what did you guys think? What was your favorite part of this episode? Let me know. I think the next episode is going to deal with Satana. Might be wrong, but I think it is. So we will have to see. But anyway, guys, like I said, let me know, comments down below what you think. And yeah, peace.